Hey guys, how's it going? Mrs. Sapola here, making sure my words line up with the video. Wasn't working for a while. Alright, I think this one happens to be working. So I'm at my house. You guys are at your house. I hope you're doing well. I really miss you guys. And luckily, since you guys are 7th graders, I still get to see you next year. But I hope you're doing well. I know this is not how we thought we'd be doing school, but you guys are very resilient, and I bet you're doing great. If you're not, though, let us know. We're here for you. All right, so this is an ed puzzle, or at least I've made it into an ed puzzle. So I'm going to be stopping it to ask you questions here and there. And hopefully you're listening and you can get it. I'm going to try and make it quick so you're not super long with this. All right, so first off, this right here, it's my kids' magnet tiles. What it kind of looks like is a little house, like a 3D house, right? We've got a cube on bottom, and then the roof is made up of triangles, right? So this is a triangle, equilateral triangle. This is a square. Now I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares to make up the bottom of this house, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles to make up the top of this house. Now, if I wanted to find the surface area, sorry, I keep moving out of the camera. If I want to find the surface area of this house, how much area does it all cover? What I need to do is find the area of each shape that is used to create the house and add all those areas together. All right, so let's start with the square. We have 5 squares that make the bottom of the house. And I have this ruler. So if I look and I'm like, oh, this square measures 7 centimeters. So if this square here is 7 centimeters, that means the area of this square would be 7 times 7, which is 49 centimeters squared. Okay, so if I know one of these squares is 49, and I've got 5 squares here, that means that I would do 49 plus 49 plus 49, or just 49 times 5. So now, I've got my calculator. I'm going to do, 49 times 5, and the bottom part of my house is 245 centimeters squared. Now I got that by doing 7 times 7, which was 49. And since there were, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, I then multiply that by 5. And that's how I get my 245. All right, now that's not the whole shape though, that's the bottom. Now I have this top part here, and that is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. These are equilateral triangles. If I measure, remember, again, I need length and height. So if I measure the length here, the bottom is 7, and then my height is 6. So to find the area of this triangle, I do 1/2 times 7 times 6, because area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, 7 times 6. And you know what? Feel free to use the calculator. That's fine. So 0.5 times 7 times 6 is 21. So this square is 21 centimeters squared. That's the area. Now I have 4 of them on my shape here, on my composite figure. It's made up of 2 shapes put together. So 21, so again I did 1/2 times 7 times 6, and I got 21. And then I need to multiply that by 4. Okay? 21 times 4 is, maybe you can do that one in your head, but 84. So centimeters squared. I can add those two together. So I've got the area of the surface area of the bottom. Oh no, my magnetiles are coming apart. The surface area of this whole bottom was 245. And then the surface area of the top piece was 84. Add those up, and I've got 329, oh my gosh, 32, not 32, 329 centimeters squared. Okay, so that would be the surface area of this entire shape. Okay, now that I did that one, I want us to look at this drawing I have here. If I was going to find the surface area, remember, surface area is like covering the outside. It's like taking a shape and wrapping it. How much wrapping paper would I need to cover all the sides? So if I was going to erase this. Okay, so if I was going to find the surface area of this shape here, I would want to find the area of each side of it. Okay, so if I've got this orange shape, which is a rectangular prism, has 6 sides, it's not as nice as this one where they were all squares. That was pretty easy. Now you're going to have to find the area of all the different sides. So let's first start with this front side here, which would be 8 times 7. Okay, then we have this side here, and I don't know what this part is, but if I look, I'm like, oh wait, these two would be the same, and these two would be the same, so I know that this would be 6 centimeters. 6. I said 6, and I wrote 7. Clearly, I am in a great teaching mode right now. All right, so 6 centimeters. So for this side, I'm going to do 6 times 7. And then I've got this top part here. This top part would be 6, and then our length here would have to be 8. So 6 times 8. All right, so I would multiply all these. 8 times 7 is 56. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48. All right, so that's 3 sides. But this prism has 6 sides. So I would need to take each of these and multiply them by 2, because like this front side has a back that matches it. This top has a bottom that matches it. This side has a side. Oh, wait a second. Do I need that side to be covered? Actually, I don't. I don't need this side here to cover over here because it's being covered by this shape. So I'm going to leave that one out of the multiplying by 2. I just have the top and bottom, which is a 6 times 8, so this one will get times by 2. And then I have this front side on the back, which is the 8 times 7. All right, so I have 56 times 2, and that's 112. And then 48 times 2, which is 96. I'm going to add these 3 up. So 112 plus 42 plus 96, and I get 250 centimeters squared. And that's for my orange shape. Now I'm going to add in my green shape. Okay, so here it's a triangular prism, right? I've got a triangle on each side here, and then I have a bottom, and then this part. All right, so my triangle has a base of 6, so 1/2 times base times height. Okay, the height, it has to match over here. That's 7. So 1/2 times 6 times 7, so 0.5 times 6 times 7. I feel like we did this before. Oops, my calculator goofed. And then I've got 21. That was the same as this triangle. But this one's a right triangle. This one's an equilateral one. Same area though. All right, so here, but remember I've got two of these triangles. There's one on the other side, so I'd have to multiply this by 2. So that's going to be 42. Then I have this bottom part here. So that's going to be length times width, which is 6 times 6. Oh, you know what? I was doing dots, now I'm doing times signs. Sorry, guys. 6 times 6 is 36. That's the base. That's like the part we can't see because it's on the floor of this triangle. And then I've got one more piece. I've got this rectangle right here, which would be 6 times 9. 6 times 9 is 54. Okay? So that's the area of each shape that is created by this triangular prism. I want to add these together. 42, 36, 54. So I'm going to go to my calculator. 42 plus 36 plus 54, and I get 132 centimeters squared. So my surface area for my green triangular prism is 132 centimeters squared. My surface area for this rectangular orange prism here is 250 centimeters squared. So if I wanted to know the total surface area to cover this whole shape, this, two shapes put together, I would add these up. So I do 250 plus 132. 5 plus 3 is 8. 382 centimeters squared. That would be the total surface area for this shape. All right. So hopefully you were able to answer some of those questions as I, had it stop and make you answer them. If you have questions on this, email us, teachers, let us know. We're here to help. We want you guys to understand this. The great idea here, like the big idea, is surface area is covering a shape. So if you have two shapes happening, you have to find the area of every single piece that makes up the one 3D shape, every single area of the pieces that make up the second 3D shape, add them up. All right? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope this wasn't too long, and bye-bye.